Guys, my name is Dianne Condon. I think I know most of you. So today we're going to start in a chair. And why am I doing things in a chair? Well, because you're probably spending some time in a chair throughout the course of your day. Working from home, you might not be in a regular desk like you are in your office. So you might not be sitting properly. You might also, be developing some lower back problems. Who knows? And it's also nice to have little things that you can do in a chair just to help you throughout the course of your day. If you've got like 3 minutes for a little, yoga snack, as I call it, you can do something in a chair. So that being said, come to a comfortable seated position in your chair. Close your eyes if that feels safe for you, or you can just keep your gaze downward. And try to have your back in an upright but comfortable position. We're going to spend just a few moments observing our breathing in this position. And I'd also like you just to check in with your thoughts. Right? I always touch upon the fact that yoga is a very healing practice. And a lot of the healing does not necessarily come from your warrior two. A lot of the healing comes from training yourself to be present and using your breath and your body as ways to dial down the volume of your thoughts. Recognizing that, I think it was Gandhi had this famous saying that your thoughts, be careful of your thoughts, or pay attention to your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. So as we go through the practice this afternoon, let's do so with an awareness of our thoughts, but not an attachment to our thoughts. And let those thoughts, that self-talk that is always going on, be one of friendliness, be one of kindness, be one of compassion. So bring your hands together at your heart center. And allow your chin to start to drop down toward your chest. As soon as that happens, you might notice a little something going on in the back of your neck. Maybe you can tell that you're creating some space in between each vertebra in your neck. And then slowly begin to open your eyes and follow your hands as you raise your arms up into the air. Look up to those hands. Look at your thumbs like you've never seen thumbs before. That's how much you are just paying attention to what's happening right now. Take another breath in, reach up even higher than you thought you could. And as you exhale, allow your arms to come down. Hold on to the back of your chair. And begin, you might have to shimmy up a little bit so your feet are on the floor. And begin to lift your chest, look up and lean forward. So you're drawing your shoulder blades together. Your chest is opening. This is almost like a seated back bend. So I'm going to stay here for another breath or two. And then release your head back to a neutral position. Your arms come to your side. Hold on to the right side of your chair. Your left arm's going to come up into the air. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, lean over deeply. And then lift yourself back up, still holding onto the side of your chair, just letting your right arm rest to the side. Take your left hand and let it rest on your thigh. We're coming into a seated twist. So begin to turn your belly button. Notice I'm still looking forward. Then I'm turning my ribs. I'm still looking forward. Then I'm turning my chest. And the last thing I do is turn my head and shoulders. Take a big breath in, come back to center, raise both of your arms up into the air. Create some axial extension, some lengthening of that spine that was just twisted. And then you're gonna let that left hand drop down, that right arm comes up and over, and you stretch and stretch and stretch. Lift yourself back up, and then that right hand comes onto your left thigh. Big sip of air as you lift up, and as you exhale, you turn your belly. I'm still looking forward. I'm turning my ribs, looking forward. And the last thing I do is turn my head and shoulders, and I'm looking over my left shoulder. Take a nice breath in, come back to center, arms come up into the air, open your legs a little bit. And as you exhale, start to fold over, letting your head get really heavy. So now you're in a seated forward bend. Hopefully you can notice yourself stretching your low back here. As you inhale, bring your hands to your shins, look forward. And as you exhale, fold a little deeper this time. Turn your palms upward, float your arms up over your head. Relax your shoulders, turn your palms forward, draw those elbows down. And then begin to push your hands forward. And then bring those elbows back. It's almost like a seated chaturanga. And then push your arms forward. Bring your elbows back. As those elbows come back, you squeeze those shoulder blades together. And then sweep your arms up. Extend your right leg straight out in front of you and lean forward. Inhale, lift up. As you exhale, slide that right foot back in. Left foot comes out. Big breath in. Exhale, lean forward. Inhale, lift up. And as you exhale, your arms come back to your side. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And then just pause for a moment. So we almost just went through a whole seated sun salutation. We're now going to try to do a little stretching of our hips. So I'm going to ask you to take your left foot and put it on top of your right thigh. Noticing if that feels uncomfortable, if there's tightness. If you feel like this hurts to the point that you're getting yourself into danger, then you don't have to, you can just leave your foot on the floor. So if you can even lift your leg up if you need to. Let one hand rest on your ankle, one hand rests on your knee. You're gently guiding that left knee down. Take a big breath in, lift up, and as you exhale, lean forward. That deepens the stretch in that left hip. This is really good to do if you are, I don't know, if you're on a Zoom call or something, or maybe not a Zoom call, just a conference call where nobody can see you. You can sit here and stretch your hips out. Lift yourself back up. Now you're going to take this right hand, put it on that left knee. So you're still guiding that knee down. Then your left arm comes up into the air, big breath in. And as you exhale, bend over to the right. So you're stretching down that whole left side of your body. Keep reaching and reaching and reaching. And then lift yourself up. Release your arm. Lift up that left leg. Extend it out in front of you, toes to your face, heel presses forward. Bring your knee back to your chest. Extend your leg out. Knee comes back to your chest. And you're going to extend that leg out. Leave your leg in the air. Release one arm, release the other. We're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Big inhale. Exhale 1. Another big breath in. Exhale 2. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knee, bring your foot to the floor. Same leg, left leg. You're going to lift it up and bring it out to the side. And then lift it up and bring it back. This is lubricating your hip joint. Lift your leg up, bring it out to the side. Lift your leg up, bring it back. Lift your leg up, bring it out to the side. I'm going to move back a little bit so you can see me. And then you're going to let your left arm rest on your thigh. Right arm comes up into the air. Big breath in. Exhale, lean over. Lift yourself up. Both arms extend. Turn and look toward your left hand. Here's your seated warrior two. Turn your palms upward. Left arm comes up into the air. Right hand slides down the side of your chair. Reverse warrior. Nice big breath in. Exhale brings you back to your warrior two, and then release that arm back down onto your leg. Lift that right arm up into the air, and then let your left hand slide down so that your elbow is guiding that left thigh back a little bit further. And then to work on our balance a little bit here, take a nice breath in, look up to your right hand. And as you exhale, look down to your left foot. Inhale, look up to that right hand. Exhale, look down to your left foot. And then using your core, big breath in, reach both of your arms up. And as you exhale, release your arms down, lift that left leg up and bring it back. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. So you can definitely stretch in a chair. You can also, as you can see, build strength in a chair. So before we do that whole series on the other side, I'm going to ask you just for a moment to stomp your feet. So stomp, stomp, stomp like you're stomping grapes. Keep stomping your feet. And then close your eyes and notice what you notice about what's going on in the bottoms of your feet. You might feel some tingling. You might feel a little throbbing. Hopefully you noticed something. There are a lot of nerve endings in your feet. So this is a way to wake up those nerve endings. This is the way to build proprioception. If you don't feel anything, pay attention to that because you want to feel something. And then once again, with your eyes closed, stomp, 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 stomp your feet. And then pause. Notice what you notice about what's going on in your feet. And then open your eyes and roll your shoulders up, back, and down again. You're going to lift up that right leg, let it rest on your left thigh. Check in with what's going on in this hip. Does it feel tighter? Is this knee a lot higher than the other one was? Does one side feel different than the other? All of these are ways to keep yourself paying attention on purpose, right? That's the definition of mindfulness. Your right hand's going to rest on that knee. Big breath in, lift up. And as you exhale, lean forward. Lift yourself back up. Now your left hand's going to rest on that right thigh. You're still guiding that thigh down. Right arm comes up into the air. Big breath in. As you exhale, lean over. Lift yourself back up. And then you're going to take this leg. You're going to hold it up. And point your toes to your face like you're slamming on the brakes of your car. Stretch that leg forward. And then bring that knee back in. Stretch that leg forward. Bring your knee back in. Stretch your leg forward. Leave it there so it's up in the air. Your thigh is, the back of your thigh is not resting on the chair. Unless it has to. Release one arm. Release the other. 3 breaths. Big inhale. Exhale 1. Another big breath in. Exhale 2. One more big breath in. Exhale 3. Lift up your leg, bend that knee, bring it out to the side. And then you lift it up and you bring it back. Knee lifts up, move your leg out. Lift your knee, bring it back. And then you bring your knee out to the side. Rest your right arm on that side. Lift your left arm up, lean over again. And then lift yourself up. Arms come out to the side. Relax your shoulders. Notice if those shoulders are creeping up to your ears. Relax them. So my right knee is pointing that way. I'm going to turn and look to my right hand. I'm in my seated warrior two. Turning my palms upward, my right arm comes up into the air, my left hand slides down my chair. I'm in my reverse warrior. A couple of big breaths into that right side of the body. And then lift yourself back to your warrior two. Let your right arm rest on your thigh again. Left arm comes up to the sky. Slide that right arm down your leg. So your elbow is resting either near that inner thigh or near your right knee. And you're using the strength of that right arm to guide that knee backward a little bit. And then you're going to inhale, look up to your left hand. Exhale, look down to your right foot. Inhale, left hand. Exhale, right foot. And then you take a nice big breath in, you lift yourself up, and you bring your leg back and start to lean back into your chair. Turn your palms upward. Lean back on your chair if it has a back, and start to lift your chest and let your arms relax. This is another back bend. Using your core, lift yourself back up. Arms come to your thighs, and you roll your shoulders back. See if you can roll your left shoulder back, roll your right shoulder back. Right shoulder forward, left shoulder forward. Both shoulders back, both shoulders forward, both shoulders back, and pause here. Again, we're upright, right? We're not slouched in our chair. We're sitting nice and upright. Shimmy a little bit toward the edge of the chair just so that you can keep your feet on the floor. If you have a little challenge when you sit back like me, my feet don't touch the floor. And then you're going to float your arms up over your head and then float those arms back down and bring your hands to rest on your elbows. Both of your elbows move to the right, your head turns to the left. Come back to center. Both of your elbows to the left, head to the right. And back to center. Release your arms so your hands are in front of you. Starting with your pinky, start to curl your fingers in, making a fist. And then starting with your thumb, open your fingers, stretch them out. And again, starting with that pinky, curl your fingers in. And then with your thumb, open and stretch. And then one more time, starting with that pinky, hold in. And then stretch. And then shake your hands out a little bit. And then begin to move your hands a little to the left, move your hands a little to the right, and then start to bring your arms almost to like making a figure eight. So my elbows are moving a little bit. My hands are still moving. That's all the time we're in Hawaii. We're doing like the hula here. And then I'm going to get my shoulders involved too. So these are big sweeping motions, moving all of the joints, right? My shoulder joint, my elbow joint, my wrist joint. If I wiggle my fingers, my finger joints. Lots of movement here. Free flowing, undulating movement. Here comes the big kahuna. Can you switch the direction? This is the time that you're probably all happy I can't see you. And then let those arms float up. And one more time, fold forward, 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 forward. Let your head be really heavy. And slide your hands up your legs. Relax your shoulders. Looking down at your feet, make sure that all 10 of your toes are facing in the same direction. You're going to press into the entirety of both of your feet, but a little bit more into your heels, because ironically, we're in a chair, but we're going to lift ourselves out of the chair to come into what we call chair pose. So arms come straight out. Take a nice breath in. And as you exhale, lean forward, press into your heels, lift yourself up. Try to hover here. Hover, hover, hover. And then you can stand up. Bring your arms to your side. Step back so that you can feel that chair behind you and sit back down into your chair. So when you don't use your hands to push yourself up out of your chair, you're using your musculature, you're using your core, you're using your thighs, you're using your glutes. So once again, arms come forward. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, lean forward, lift up, try to hover here. And then stand up, release your arms to your side, step back, feel that chair behind you, not holding on, sit back down. And then we're just going to practice 2 times sitting and standing without using our arms, which seems simple, right? But you're using musculature to do this. So lean forward, stand up, step back, and sit down. One more time, lean forward, press into your feet, stand up, walk back, sit down. So now we're going to up the ante a little bit. We're going to try to do that with one leg. So come to the edge of your chair, press into that right foot, lift up your left knee, lean forward, see if you can stand up, put your foot down, step back, and sit back down. So trying to stand using just one leg is a huge glute strengthener. Once again, you're going to lean forward, press into that right foot, lift up your left knee, try to stand, put your foot down, step back, sit down, and one last time, same side. If this is super challenging, which it very well may be, I can't see you, you can try to just put one toe on the floor as opposed to, you can leave, instead of lifting up your whole foot off the floor, you can leave maybe like your big toe there. So again, same side, lift up that left knee, lean forward, stand up, put your foot down, and sit down. We're going to try that on the other side, remembering that one side can be completely different than the other. So pressing into that left foot, lift up your right knee, lean forward, stand up, and then you sit back down. And then once again, you press into that left foot, lift your right knee, big breath in. Use your core to help stand. Foot comes down, move back, sit back down. And then one more time, press into your left foot, especially your heel. Lift up that right thigh, stand up, and then we're going to stay standing. So those little exercises, that little trying to come, standing and sitting, one-legged, again, it's a great way to build glute strength. That's really easy to do. Like you can do that every morning, before you have your coffee. Say you can't try, I'm not going to be able to drink my coffee until I sit and stand 3 times on one leg. I'm turning my chair around so that you can see what I'm doing. We're going to leave the chair here. The chair is our friend, right? If you need it, you hold on to it. You're going to take a nice big breath in, 2 fingers maybe just on the chair. And as you exhale, come up onto your tippy toes. You're going to stay here for a couple of breaths. Maybe you feel yourself building a little bit of heat in your calves. And then come back down. Next time, inhale, raise your left arm up, come up onto your tippy toe. And as you exhale, your hand comes down. Inhale, right arm comes up, tippy toes. Exhale down. This time, inhale, both arms come up as you come up onto your tippy toes. As you exhale, try to stay here. And see if you can perhaps look up to your hands. Remember that chair is always there if you need to hold on. And then release your heels, release your hands. Take your left foot, put your heel on the floor, point your toes to your face, lean over a little bit, you're stretching your calf. And then your foot comes down, slide it back. Step your right foot forward, heel on the floor, toes to your face, lean forward a little bit. Release your foot, slide it back. So we're going to do that again. We'll do it once with our eyes open, and then we're going to try to do it with our eyes closed. Remember, your chair is there, you can use it. So with our eyes open, take a big breath in, and as you exhale, come up onto your tippy toes, follow your hands with your gaze as you look up to your fingers. I imagine that you're standing in center field, Yankee Stadium. There's not a person in the stands watching you. You have to reach up for that ball before it goes over the wall. You got to keep your eye on the ball as you reach up higher, as you come higher on those tippy toes. And then release your heels. Hands come back to the chair. So you always want to pull your belly in, right? Lift up on that pelvic floor, engage your abdominal muscle. That's going to help you stay steady. So we're going to try this now. Close your eyes. Begin with your hands on the chair so you feel safe. And with your eyes closed, take a nice big breath in. Pull that belly in, and as you exhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Arms come up over your head. You can stay here for 2 more breaths. Big breath in. Exhale 1. Another big breath in. Exhale 2. Hands come down, heels come down, and you can open your eyes. Chair still here in case you need it. We're going to try to sit down in our Uttanasana, right? We're in our chair pose, like I'm squatting. I'm going to leave the chair here in case I need it. I'm going to ask you to shift your weight into your left leg, lift up your right knee. Similar, a lot of glute work today, similar to sitting and standing in the chair. Now we're not using the chair, we're just standing with that leg. I'm in a nice squat. I'm pressing into my left heel. As I inhale, I stand. And as I exhale, I sit. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Lift up your right foot. Put it on top of that left thigh. Start to lower yourself down even more. Remember, chair's always there. And let your elbows rest on that right leg, guiding that right knee down. Lift yourself up, foot to the floor. Let your hands rest at your side. Try to roll your shoulders back. Bring your hands together just for a moment, letting your thumbs rest on your chest. Notice if your heart is beating a little bit faster. I often talk about how you don't need to be jogging around the block or running up and down a flight of stairs to ramp up your heart rate. What you do need to be doing is using some large muscle groups, right? So we're using our thighs, we're using our glutes. They're getting thirsty for oxygen, and our body's responding. Open your eyes. Nice big breath in. As you exhale, sit down in that chair. This time your left knee lifts. We hold it. Pressing into your right heel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Stay here. Lift that left leg up. Let it rest on your right thigh. You sink down even a little bit more, and you let your elbows rest on your leg, guiding that left knee down even a little bit more. Lift yourself up, place your foot on the floor, wiggle your legs out a little bit. One last big glute, some more glute work, and then I'll let you sit back down in your chair. So we're going to do a little curtsying. Again, 2 fingers on the chair if you need it. Lift up your right knee, and you're going to curtsy. Let that, I'm not going back enough. You're going to lift up your right knee. You're going to curtsy, letting that right toe tap the floor, and then stand back up. See if you can maybe bring your hands to your heart center or leave one hand on the chair. Curtsy and stand. Again, I'm pressing into my left heel. That fires up the glute. Curtsy and stand up. Inhale, curtsy. Exhale, stand. One more time. Inhale, curtsy. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Exhale, stand, release your foot down. And then we'll switch. So you're gonna lift up that left knee, you bring it a little bit behind you. And as you inhale, you curtsy, maybe you tap that left toe, and exhale, stand up. Inhale, curtsy. Exhale, stand. Inhale, curtsy. Exhale, stand. Inhale, curtsy, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. Exhale, stand. Foot comes to the floor. Wiggle your legs out a little bit. And now you can come back to sitting down in your chair. So we did that nice seated glute stretch before. We're going to do it again now after all of that glute work. So take your left foot, put it on your thigh. And you're going to this time you're going to let your elbows rest on your leg. Take a big breath in, lift up. And as you exhale, lean forward. We're going to try to stay here for a little while. Lift yourself up. We're going to pick up that left foot. You're going to rest your foot in your elbow, right? Can you see I'm all in black here? Rest your foot in your elbow, and then let your arms hug that leg. You're going to rock it back and forth. You might feel this in your glute. You might feel it in your hip socket. And then release your leg. Put it down on the floor. Lift up your other leg. Let it rest on your thigh. So your forearms are resting on that knee and that ankle. You take a big breath in, lift up. And as you exhale, lean forward. So I'm really using this arm to guide this knee down. Big stretch. And you stretch enough that it feels good. Right? There's that whole fine line between, yikes, I feel this, but it feels like my body needs it, versus, yikes, I feel this and I'm getting into trouble. And then lift yourself up. You pick up that foot, let it rest in your elbow, wrap your arms around your leg, and gently rock the other way. And you're going to release your foot down. Place your hands on your thighs. And with your hands resting on your thighs, roll your shoulders back and start pressing your hands into your thighs. And then try to get a sense of lifting up on your thigh muscles so that your thigh muscles are pressing back into your hands. So this is targeting your transverse abdominis, those deep abdominal muscles. So hopefully you feel this. If you don't, maybe you have to press your hands a little harder and then relax. And again, pressing your hands into your thighs are pressing back into your hands. Isometric contraction of those lower abdominal muscles. Hold it, keep breathing. I hope you're breathing. I can't hear anything. Breathe. And then release. Good. You're going to hold on. We're going to do a little bit more ab work, which is interesting to do in the chair. So you're going to hold on to your chair. You're going to lean back. So I'm on the edge of my seat. You can see my friend sideways. I'm kind of on the edge of my seat. I'm holding on to the back of the chair, and I'm leaning back. I'm holding on a lot. Hold on to your life. And then I'm going to lift up one knee and put it down. Lift up the other knee and put it down. Lift up both knees and hold them here. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then place your feet back on the floor. So again, you can build strength even while sitting in a chair. Perfect example. Again, holding onto the chair, that's going to help you stay safe. You're going to lean back, lift up both legs. Now we're going to try to see if you can straighten your legs and bring them back in. This is almost like a seated boat pose. Straighten your legs, bring them back in. Straighten your legs, bring them back in. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And then release your feet. Open your legs nice and wide. Sweep your arms up over your head. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward as deeply as you can, letting your head get heavy. And if you can reach, try to take your thumb and your index finger and hold on to your big toes. And you're going to start to pull up on your toes. And hopefully you can feel this stretching your low back. Release your toes. Slide your hands back up your legs. Sit up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders up, back, and down. And we're going to try to do one more twist. I'm going to ask you to turn so you can see, like this is my chair, it's facing forward. I'm going to sit on the edge of my chair. And then I'm going to turn my body to the back of my chair. I'm going to hold on to the back of my chair, and I'm going to turn my body. And I'm going to press one hand against the back of the chair. And that's going to deepen my twist. And then come back to center. Stretch your arms up, up, up. Arms come out to the side. Turn your palms upward, letting your thumbs drop back. And then turn your palms down. I want you to feel this in your shoulder, right? So my shoulder is moving. My palms turn upward, my thumbs drop back. And then I turn my palms the opposite way. And then again, turn your palms up. Reverse your hands down. Bring your arms up over your head and let your hands rest. And then you're going to turn to the other side. Now I have my back to you. So my feet are on the floor and I'm going to hold on. You can see I'm holding on to my chair. I take a big breath in. I lift my spine. And then as I exhale, I start to twist. Now I'm facing. Almost my whole body is facing the back of my chair. And I start to press into the chair, and that helps me to deepen my twist. And then come back to center. You can move yourself back so that you're facing forward. And then we're going to do one more nice big axial extension. Stretch up as high as you can. Big breath in. And as you exhale, fold forward. Bring your hands to your shins, look forward. And as you exhale, fold. Turn your palms upward. Float your arms back up over your head. And then let your hands rest on your thigh. So before we move into our seated Shavasana, I'm just going to show you one thing that you can do with a yoga mat to help you sit more comfortably. So if you take a yoga mat and place it behind you so that it's kind of between your shoulder blades and then lean back, many people find this a really comfortable way to keep themselves in that upright seated position, right? So I'm not slumped forward, but I'm comfortably leaning back. Sometimes the back of the chair is too far away. I know clients of mine who always keep me rolled up yoga mat in the back of their car. They drive this way. So if you're going to be spending a lot of time sitting, it's really good to have a yoga mat nearby. and you just leave it behind you, and it's a super comfortable way to stay upright, because as we all know, being upright helps to keep our ribs away from collapsing into our belly, which restricts the amount of air that we can get into our body, which sends, when we're restricting the amount of air in our body, the amount of oxygen going to our brain, this is sending a message to my brain that everything is not okay, because I can't get enough air. Right, all of a sudden I can't breathe as much. Now I can breathe a lot better. So there's enough uncertainty without creating more messages. There's enough uncertainty in the world right now for our brain to be like a little bit on high alert all the time. So we don't want to restrict the oxygen in our body and give our brain more of a reason to freak out. So sitting upright, rolling your shoulders back is a fabulous way to keep that oxygen flowing, letting your diaphragm move. So with that being said, roll your shoulders back. Release your hands onto your thighs. You can turn your palms upward if you would like to. With your palms turned upward, you're putting yourself in an open and receptive position. Now I'd like you to just check in momentarily with where your thoughts go when your body becomes still. So you're not holding onto your chair, lifting your left leg, lifting your right leg. What do I do? That's forcing you to pay attention, right? Right now, you don't have to pay attention to anything. So your brain takes that oftentimes as a signal. Okay, here I go. Let me start making that to-do list. Let me start reminiscing about a relationship gone wrong back in the 80s. Let me start worrying about getting everything accomplished that I need to get accomplished. Let me make that list, make that list, make that list. Notice where your mind goes. We all have patterns of thought. Our minds tend to go to the same place. So notice that. And then picture a revolving door in your mind. And when you notice yourself having a thought, maybe you label it. Oh, look, I'm planning. And then just like that revolving door, that thought came in, and then that thought will go right back out. Maybe you have another thought. Oh, look, I'm worrying. Let that thought come in, and let that thought go right back out. Using something to anchor yourself helps you to allow those thoughts to enter and leave that revolving door easily. Your anchor can be noticing sensation in your body. Your anchor can be noticing sounds. Or your anchor can be noticing your breathing. When you notice one of those thoughts come into that revolving door, try to let it leave and come back to your anchor. Bring your hands back together at your heart center. Take a moment to remind yourselves to be mindful or be careful of your thoughts, because your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. So as you leave your chair and return to your world, try to do so with friendly, compassionate thoughts for yourself. May you all be safe. May you all be healthy. May you all be joyful. May you all be free from suffering. Namaste.